If Dr. Y.P. Munjal, chairman, was here, his presence would have been very impactful. His absence has been equally impactful. I'll connect with him at Uprashtapati Niwas at the earliest occasion, at his comfort. I wish him a long, healthy life. Dr. Milind Nadkar, President, API. Let me confess, I never thought he will be so far-sighted, so futuristic. Imagine your president talking about disruptive technologies, marshalling all energy to secure artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, blockchain and the like for your profession that is need of the time to keep abreast of global changes. In a sense, he has indicated the depth of your organization, its commitment to be the very best, and an organization that is in Bharat, 1/6 of humanity, we can afford only one aspect, to be the best and the best. Dr. Rajesh Upadhyay, Organizing Secretary, Dr. Grish Mathur, past President, I have the privilege to belong to his estate. Dr. Agam, and mind you, it's a serious matter. When people know you more than you know yourself, you are never on a firm ground. So it is my obligation to keep him in good humor. But otherwise, a very soft-spoken man. And mind you, soft-spoken is as good as soft diplomacy. Dr. Agam Vora, General Secretary, distinguished delegates, audience. Friends, when I came here, my wife is not in town today. So I thought I'll have freedom to express myself. But I got a rude shock when I was married in 1979. Dr. Karan Punia was there. He's a relative. And we are never comfortable when a relative is around. But I can say he and the family have contributed good for that area in health sector. I know physicians out of experience. Dr. Manak Talla, where is he? Dr. Manak Talla is Vice President physician. He never agrees with me and is always right. Never agrees with me. If I say, why should I take this dose? I don't feel the need of it, I'm quite healthy. He will leave only to come after 10 minutes. Sir, we have thought over it, you have to take it. A physician is always an asset. We must listen to physicians more. And in age of specialty, a physician is all the more important. He is like a general counsel. We have two things in common. I mean, doctors and lawyers. You wear white dress. We wear black. Any tent on your dress will show immediately we are secured by black color. But another common feature where we are on the same platform, your books are very heavy, so are ours. I had the good occasion to handle 3 of them. And I don't know for what reason, one of the gentlemen in the audience said they are very heavy. Well, being a married man for 45 years, I know how to handle weight. And being chairman Rajya Sabha, I know how to handle stress. And having been governor state of West Bengal for 3 years, you know how best I know how to handle. I am grateful to Shri J.P. Nadda ji. I have respect for him for a long time. A gentleman in politics, exemplifies highest standards. He called me. I have a request, if you make it to attend a program. I said, sir, ये तो आपका पुराना मंत्रालय है. बोला मेरा पुराना नहीं है, मेरा उनसे संबंध उतना ही जीवन था जो पहले था उनका मेरे से है. I am grateful to him. Friends, this is a unique opportunity for me, and I will avail it to reach out to the medical fraternity of Bharat. For patients, doctor is next only to God. We all have felt it. Even doctors as patients have felt it. 2,300 physicians who are your members have the potential to affirmatively impact health sector of the entire nation. On the occasion of 79th Annual Conference of Association of Physicians, I would avail the opportunity to share my thoughts, and I am confident I can share my concerns also. Let me at the outset express a deep sense of gratitude for your exemplary role in combating and containing COVID menace. You are ever in service of humanity. As Governor State of West Bengal, I had the first-hand experience of seeing your dedication, sincerity, and total commitment for welfare of humanity and making your profession gloriously proud. I dare say without fear of contradiction, no profession is as respected and in every walk of life, in every corner of the globe, as medical profession. You risked your lives during COVID to save the lives of others. How many other professions can lay claim to such an outstanding achievement in human behavior? I salute doctors, paramedical staff, nurses, compounders. We had the toughest challenge of COVID, given our large population of 1.3 billion and more then. And the world thought India will be shaken to the core as no other country. With your contribution, visionary leadership, our innovation, not only we overcame it, we helped more than 100 other countries by COVID-3. Friends, while no profession is as elevated and glorified as yours, this profession calls for highest degree of ethical standards, ever highest. Next to the lawyer, your profession is repository of privacy of the patients. A patient who will not reveal anything to near and dear one will unhesitatingly betray his privacy to you. On both the counts, you are heavily obligated to measure up to the highest human standards. Ethical dilution in any profession is painful, but ethical dilution in medical profession is unacceptable. I commend all of you that our doctors, our nurses and compounders have exhibited the highest ethical standards even on global horizon. Highest. If there are some transgressions, I leave it to your thoughtful process, and you must visit them with exemplary consequences. Because when the vast majority of doctors, nurses, and compounders are at the highest platinum level of ethical standards, we cannot allow the fair name of this profession to be tarnished, tainted by minuscule category who create this profession into commerce. You know it more than I do. We are in Amrit Kal. We are friends on March, marathon march to Bharat at 2047. We look 2047, the centennial year of our celebration of our independence, as being the developed nation of the world and a world leader. This will be possible only when we have fit India and fit India depends on your contributions. Nation will be fit when you will be 24/7 engaged in making us fit. This has to be scripted, friends, by your devotion and dedication. You have great role in economic development of the nation, because a sick mind, a sick body, in spite of talent, commitment, direction, dedication, cannot perform. You are the ones who can take care of the health of the nation by variety of reasons. Today, friends, India stands proud as hub of medical excellence and a fast-growing center of medical tourism, attracting patients from every corner of the globe in search of cutting-edge treatments and compassionate care. I know it, my own father had to be taken to UK for bypass surgery in late 80s. All that we could have in this country at that point of time was angiogram, and that also at very few places. Look at where we are at the moment. जैसे कहते हैं ना कि जो लोग हमको राय देते थे वो आजकल अर्थव्यवस्था में हमसे राय लेते हैं, और जहां हम इलाज कराने जाते थे उन देशों के लोग यहाँ पर आते हैं. Thanks to this country. When I look at your name API, I immediately remember UPI. And mind you, UPI, an Indian product, being adopted already by 7 countries including Singapore. And transactions are more than 40%, 46% of the global transactions. In this backdrop, it is of utmost importance that our hospitals are affordable for the common man and that medical treatment keeps ethical considerations at its center. I will not elaborate. We need 5-star facilities in hospitals. Hospitals cannot be source of attraction because they offer 5-star facilities. We need 5-star services, and I'm sure rest you know it. We have to imbibe a culture in them. There are certain practices in vogue which even at this level we are unable to share. I'm sure you will have brainstorming session, debate those practices, put that writing on the wall, be vocal about it, bring reform that will help the patient, the nation greatly. Equitable access and fairness and not fiscal gain must be touchstone of healthcare. How can education and health be commercial? We live in a society that has civilizational depth of 5,000 years. Health and education were always taken to be service to the society, giving back to the society, not earning out of it. Now these two sectors have become industry. I strongly recommend that we get back in the old groove that will do a lot of good to our nation and to humanity. True progress is to be measured not in terms of personal attainments. True progress has to be measured in people-centric stance. To what extent we are in a position to enable that person who is in the last row to have hope in him. That yes, I live in Bharat, I can get the best treatment and it is affordable. In this situation, let me tell you, friends, Ayushman Bharat stands as a beacon of hope, heralding a new era where quality healthcare is not a privilege but a fundamental right. And Ayushman Bharat, friends, has other advantages also. It has resulted in growth of medical infrastructure, more hospitals even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, paramedical services, nursing colleges, diagnostic centers. This is a plateau kind of a development because of Ayushman Bharat. A new ray of hope to those who thought if we were to suffer a disease, our entire economy will be shattered, we will be in darkness. They are now in focus and in light. This is possibly the only health insurance scheme in the world which offers the option of seeking insurance cover even for pre-existing diseases as well. I am before discerning audience. I am before audience that knows global scenario. I am before audience that knows what is the state of affairs in health sector in the developed world. You will be happy to know it, and you know it more than I do. We are far ahead of them. When we look at their addresses to the nation, we are worried where they are. Not here. We are on incremental rise. Our rise is unstoppable, and our rise will continue. Affirmative governance and effective policies aimed at strengthening health infrastructure at all levels, a primary, secondary, and tertiary, to ensure two things: affordability and accessibility. Go to any part of the country, even in a village, the system has been dramatically changed, revolutionized. Facilities are available which we never imagined. At least I can vouch for myself. In 1989, I was elected to Parliament. I had the good fortune to be a Union Minister. What I could not dare to dream then, I could not aspire, is a ground reality. Thanks to contribution of the medical profession, visionary leadership, we are in a position to claim we are getting in the mold of being the best in the world. Just imagine if I take you to statistics. What have we traversed in a challenging terrain just in a decade? 79% increase in MBBS seats, just a decade. 93% increase in PG seats. 23 approved AIMS, up from 7 a decade ago. And this has strengthened, fortified our structured health scenario. I indicated earlier, gone are the days when the first option was take the patient abroad if you could afford to save life. Now, no longer the scenario. Every state of the country can boast of a super specialty hospital. Every state of the country. This was not difficult, but virtually impossible at point of time to even visualize. Now we are getting full benefit of it. Friends, I'll come to another aspect. Because there is a category of patients globally, they look for how strong are you in your medical education, how strong are you with your medical expertise, how strong are your facilities, what is the level of your super specialty hospitals beyond the name. And I can tell you, our country, there is emergence of super specialty facilities that rival the best in the world. Our healthcare comes, and this is far more important. We offer all these premium platinum services at a fraction of a cost of the Western world. Our care has a human touch. Obviously, we are focal center of attraction, magnetic attraction, to render health service to those people who are outside the country. This brings me to another collateral issue. Medical tourism is a champion sector. I would say it's a sunrise sector. With more than 2 million patients visiting India each year from abroad, generating $4 billion annually every year. But this is tip of the iceberg in positive sense. Our potential is much more. We can take a quantum jump. As the incoming president has indicated, artificial intelligence, well, there is quantum computing also. That will also help you greatly in medical field. My appeal to you to ensure highest degree of professionalism and ethical practices as to how you deal with patients coming from various countries. And I say so because when you deal with a patient from outside, he immediately sees the difference from his own country to ours. And this gives us a great soft diplomacy advantage also. So not only the medical fraternity is contributing massively, significantly for our economic welfare and rise, it is also giving us cutting edge in diplomatic relationships. Friends, our vision of good health is not being free from disease. Our vision of good health is not that we have facilities to treat everyone. Our vision is we must contain and combat growth of diseases. Preventive and precautionary mechanism must be our first choice, and we must lay focus on that. Massive development of our social infrastructure is thus an important element of achieving healthy India by pushing the whole of government approach instead of limiting the health subject to just one ministry. Where we are meeting today, where I sit in Rajya Sabha, where we had P20, that is Yash Bhumi. Just imagine all this came into being in last 1 year. That's the big change we are having. This has to be matched because the thought process in this country is now not isolated. It is holistic. The thinking of the present leadership is in tune with our population, our demographic element, and our demographic dividend that is primarily of the youth. Friends, if we look into our history, India has great tradition of preventive and promotive health with Indian practices such as yoga and meditation that have now become global movements. Thanks to our Prime Minister. He took yoga to United Nations, made an appeal to the Committee of Nations from United Nations platform. Within the shortest time, largest number of countries came together, and we have International Yoga Day. Last International Yoga Day, I was at the national program in Jabalpur, and Honorable Prime Minister was at United Nations, where nearly all the countries were represented. This is a big change that Bharat has brought about. But yoga, friends, is not only for Yoga Day. Yoga is for every day. Steps have been taken by the government in various fields to promote medical tourism. And one is in the field of creation of new visa category. It has been extremely facilitating, but a challenge for the medical fraternity to rise to the occasion, and you have the potential capability and competency to convert this challenge of treating foreign nationals, giving them best of Medicare, turn it into an opportunity. You will benefit, your fraternity will benefit, and the nation will benefit. This new initiative will help boost medical tourism in India, will strengthen our endeavor in making Indian traditional medicine a global phenomena. Now, whenever we go to a physician, the general perception is a physician subscribes to allopathy. But our traditional medicine mechanism is in the same stream. There has to be greater understanding and congeniality between all forms of medicines, all forms. There has been tremendous growth in our country when we had for the first time a new Ayush Mantralaya. This is impacting us. I only have to take you back to recent COVID era. Our traditional medicines were extremely useful. And the therapy given by what has come to us from our Dadi and Nani was extremely impactful. I am sure you will work in togetherness. Friends, a big service can be done by medical fraternity to humanity by engaging in prevention of diseases. Now what we have these days? Lifestyle diseases. We need only to counsel people, make them aware. And what is surprising, and I'm stunned, the educated people, The people who know all about the ill effects are prey to these lifestyle diseases. And then they don't show the kind of attention that needs to be there in the early stages, and in the late stage, they place everything to get rid of the disease. They need to be counseled. I'm sure the best category that can counsel is the physician. I am before them. Let us not forget the cornerstone of our healthcare ecosystem, the dedicated physicians and healthcare professionals who tirelessly serve on the front lines of our patient care. Friends, I don't want to take more time. Very many good words and sentiments have been expressed about me. I am sure if my wife was around, she will have a lot to say. May not have agreed to most of it. But then let me monetize subject to what Karan Punia will convey to her. But I trust your control over him that he will not do it. I wish you, and mind you, just imagine, they say, ulte baans Bareilly ko, call back to Newcastle. But ladies and gentlemen, the physicians, I pray for your good health and happiness so that you can make 1/6 of humanity and more healthy and happy. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.